Welcome, everyone, to the ROONS MIZZ Arsenal chat. We come at you every Friday to talk about the good, the bad, the crazy, the ups and downs, the depression, the agony, and the ecstasy of Arsenal Football Club. Miz, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, mate?
Good. You're looking clean. Got the fresh fade. I like it.
Had to get cut up. Thanks. Change of scenery for you today. Looking nice in that black top.
Thank
Digging
you.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This week we're back every Friday. We're talking this week about the recap of the North London Derby last weekend. It didn't turn out to be a great fixture for us. Didn't play bad, but didn't win. Um, we'll discuss that. We're going to talk about the process of what's going on at Arsenal and how long this is going to keep going on. The talk of Arteta getting sacked potentially, not how we express sentiment. We do not want to see that, but that is some headlines being circulated. And we play Burnley on Sunday, and a game that we need to absolutely win. We keep saying it week in and week out, but we absolutely have to win on
Feel
Sunday.
every game right now is a must win.
Every game. And we have a tough run of matches. We just looked at the fixture list, chatted about it briefly. It's
no games.
Yeah.
There's no games to come by, it seems.
No, and it's December 11th right now, and we got between now and January 2nd. There's 6 games. That's a lot of matches, and
that's hard no matter who you're playing.
Yeah,
you could be playing one dog 6 times, and it's going to be tough.
Yeah, totally. It's going to be hard on their bodies. Expect some injuries somewhere. Hopefully, we can limit that a little bit, but. Yeah. So what'd you make of the game on Sunday?
I think what sums it up is we talked about it last week. We were feeling really low after Wolves, and then we're feeling great after the Europa League win because he changed the formation. It seemed like you had very clearly before you a formation that does not work at all and a formation that works wonderfully. Yes. Wolves and Rapid Vienna might not be the same level of team, but Wolves are not Real Madrid and Rapid Vienna are not some championship. They're not Nottingham Forest or something like that.
Yeah, they're good. They're good sides still.
I would say Wolves should beat Rapid Vienna,
Yeah.
But at the same time, how much different really are they? We can't just it seems like people are like, oh, well, the Premier League is light years ahead of any other team, is it really though? What is the difference? And when you're looking at how we played against Wolves, how boring, how stuck in the mud, how annoying it was to watch that team play, and then watching the fluidity, the attacking, the goals, the 1-2s, the passing against Rapid Vienna, it just seemed very clear cut. And we said this last week before the game. We either play that team or we play a mixture of the Premier League team with the Europa League team.
Which I don't understand why that didn't happen.
Yeah. I mean,
why not integrate some of those players into that system that are obviously playing well? I mean, you and I said it right when kickoff started on Sunday. We're Bellerin and Xhaka are starting. Why? Why?
And we said it last week too. We were
yeah.
If I see fucking Bellerin and Xhaka on the starting 11 with a 3-4-3, I might as well just shut it off. And that's what I should have done. I should have taken a look at it and not even turned it on, because it happened exactly the way I thought it would happen if he played that team, exactly the way Mourinho thought would happen, exactly the way literally every single person you talk to.
And the players, look at the first goal is Bellerin's fault again. Son runs into free space down the left side, completely just let him run. We know the two danger people at Tottenham. It's Son and Harry Kane. And we know what they're going to do. They're going to shoot. And Son, I mean, incredible goal, but completely preventable in a number of ways. Tackle him somewhere up the field, and no one challenges, no one stepped to him. Bellerin slid away from him. It's dude, every week we're looking at the same fucking defending that you're doing every week, which is no defending.
I mean, the same exact goal was scored on us by Wolves.
Yeah.
Coming down the left, cutting across,
cutting in.
Bellerin lets the guy run, first of all, which you're letting Son run free into space. You're doing that, asking to get scored on to begin with.
In the middle of the field, just free reign into our half. Just go ahead.
And he's expecting that Holding's going to move over to him or something. Well, he has to watch out for Harry Kane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, central defender is not going to be comfortable just tracking a winger because he knows that Kane is somewhere around there too. And meanwhile, Bellerin just runs back. He runs with his back to the ball. He's looking around, falls over his feet, and Son just kicks it in from like 35 yards out. Like,
it's just despicable. And even pundits are pointing out a lot now that, like, what's Xhaka doing on the field? Like, what's he starting? He's just not good enough as a footballer. So, like, Xhaka and Bellerin just not the class that is needed on the field at all. Like, it's past them. Bellerin was a decent player when he had pace. He has no pace now. He doesn't defend. He doesn't score. He doesn't get assists. He doesn't defend. What does he do? Like, he doesn't do anything on the field.
Yeah. I was laying into Bellerin so much, even online on like the AFTV chat lines and stuff, calling for Zoolander out, starting the new hashtag. And at a certain point I had to stop because I was like, I feel like I'm almost becoming an internet troll.
Yeah.
Harping on this guy, like it shouldn't come to this,
Shouldn't be like that.
When Xhaka got into the fight with the fans, it was because they were booing him when he got subbed off because they were pissed off that he was even on the field.
Yeah. And then when he got subbed, he didn't run off. He just was like, I'm going to walk off, and just told the fans to F off. He's just, poor attitude in general. Like, he's kind of rectified it, but just not good enough as a soccer player in general.
Well, the situation can be avoided because, honestly, I've been saying Xhaka and Bellerin, I've been pulling out my hair every time they start. And this was in like 2017.
Yeah, and it's still happening.
Since Bellerin came back from injury, he's been a completely, I don't know what position he plays. I don't know what he does. And that's always been Xhaka too. What kind of midfielder is Xhaka? I think he was brought in to be like a creative attacking midfielder.
Yeah. And he's not that. He's not that at all.
So all of a sudden he started fouling people a lot. And it's like, oh, you're a defensive midfielder. You're a holding defensive midfielder. The dude was 20 yards in front of Harry Kane on the second goal. He's jogging back. He's not even busting a lung to get back and tackle or put pressure or make sure that he doesn't get a free shot. The dude, I don't know why Xhaka would ever be in front of Harry Kane at any time.
Yeah,
You're not going to go in there. You haven't scored a goal with a header on a cross in your entire career. You don't score. You're not passing. You're not getting assists. So
he scored like 2 goals in the very beginning Arsenal career, and like has hung on to that ever since. He does nothing. Can't pass the ball. All his tackles are late and lazy. Every time he challenges, he's either going to get booked, sent off, or it's going to be a pretty bad foul because he comes in so late because he's lazy and isn't tracking.
Yeah. He fouled Harry Kane in the very beginning, took him out. It could have been a red card. I was like, holy shit. And it was close to the box.
It was a bad challenge.
Kane can score those from there. They have a couple of people who can score free kicks from literally on the line of the box. What are you doing, dude? Like, okay, so you went in hard. You showed you were trying hard, but you almost got a red card and fouled him in a scoring opportunity. Whereas the rest of the game, you're playing 20 yards in front of him. He should just be shadowing Harry Kane. Like, if
totally.
You're not going to let him walk. You're not going to give him a yard of space the entire game. No one's going to pass you the ball. That's not what you're there for, because you don't do anything with the ball except for take a touch and pass it back, which ruins momentum.
Yeah. Well, every time he does that, it's not even just like ruins momentum. He like slows the game down completely, like takes all the sting out of he gets the ball and it's like, oh, okay, there, might as well move back and start over again.
Yeah. Like,
we see this. They must see this.
I know that's what's so
They
frustrating.
must see it.
It's also avoidable
Yeah.
with just those two players, and the way he plays them too is they're on either side of the field, so both sides we have no creative midfielder to bring it up through the middle, so they know it
Yeah.
has to come from the outside, but we have one person on each side who completely drains all energy and momentum. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. I hope that the game. I don't think we played terrible against Tottenham. Even Mourinho said Arsenal caused a lot of problems. We controlled the entire game. We actually were creating chances for once. I'd say that there's some good takeaways, even though we lost 2-0. Uh, Disappointing to always lose that fixture, of course, but the fact that we were attacking so well and getting the ball forward, we got caught on the break 2 times. They had 3 shots on goal. 2 of them went in. I mean, it's it.
Yeah, but
You can't. But they got to find the net still.
I
They're
mean,
they're not finding the goal, and that's they find the goal in the Europa team. The JV squad is finding the goal.
yeah,
The varsity squad still has yet to put a ball in the net. Besides that one, like
yeah,
it,
it's
but they
crazy.
need
But
to
I mean, before the game, if someone would have asked you what's Tottenham's strategy, what would you have said?
that they're going to sit back and wait to catch us on the break.
And what happened? They proved it.
Exactly that,
They let us
dude. We
couple
said it
goals
before. We said it before with Mourinho. That's what they were going to do. It's
Yeah,
written in stone that is how they are going to beat you.
yeah. Because if you put 11 people in the box, swinging crosses in, the chance of it landing on Aubameyang's head, you have to get lucky. So we're hoping to get lucky instead of
Yeah.
actually using the weapons that we have to try to beat them.
Which now look, the system that they're playing in Europe, granted, we're talking different things here, like different leagues, but like it's still soccer at the end of it. And the team that played yesterday and the team that played last Thursday, the mixture of players that's moving the ball around, why aren't we trying them in this system that obviously we keep losing every game?
Yeah, because
We've lost 4 games in a row or something, right? 3 games in a row?
3 games in a row at home
At home.
and won 4 in a
So we've
row
lost
on the bounce.
4. Yeah, that's
And the thing
really
is,
bad. That's
he's
really
playing
bad.
he's playing the same system game after game after game. I mean, we were calling for Xhaka and Bellerin to be fucking sold
In the summertime when I should have.
because flat out you just take them off the field and the team is going to play better. Just
Yeah.
flat out. Even if they don't make howler mistakes, like the fluidity will improve drastically just by taking those two players off the field.
Yeah, totally. I mean, why aren't we like, look at Joe Willock scored again yesterday. Sick goal, balled in the middle of the field, played really well.
Yeah.
I mean, why isn't he playing instead of Xhaka? Why isn't Maitland-Niles playing instead of Xhaka in the middle?
What about El Neni?
What about
upper 90 from 30 out?
great
Has been
finish
having
yesterday?
a good season. He's been having a good season.
Why not him?
Or Cedric? What is Cedric doing that is, I mean, I haven't seen him be.
I see a lot more effort from him. I see a lot more.
Just get the ball and try to do stuff. He's trying to do, he's trying to take it on. It's like, if I get an opportunity, I'm going to try to pounce on it. I'm trying. Like, not everything works, or he's not the most gifted player, obviously, but it's not like this whole, like, it's not this black hole every time he gets the ball. He's just an adequate player with the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Which right now is better than someone who sucks all the life out of the team.
Totally. I think he's at least putting effort in. And I don't know, we don't get the same type of defending or in anything from Bellerin. Like it's just lackluster on everything he does.
Yeah. Out of position. It's the same old kind of thing that we struggled with Wenger and people like Mertesacker, and it never felt like he was in the right position. He's somehow always like, huh? And watching a dude run with 20 yards and then let me get back.
I mean, if you look at teams that do it well and are good defensively and win the league, look at Man City and Liverpool and even Tottenham, all of those teams. Every defender on the field is fast, even the wingbacks. Kyle Walker is a really fast player. And
Yes.
and Laporte and all of these dudes in the back of the field for these teams, like not only are big and strong, but are fast. And Bellerin is none of that. And we're never gonna be to this caliber as long as someone on the field is like him. Like Tierney is not the biggest player, but he's strong and fast. And he doesn't let anybody do anything around him. Like, I mean, look at how shored up we are on the left side now. I mean, him and Saka on the side together it's an amazing combo.
Yeah, totally. And you just trust him with the ball. I mean, he'll make a mistake. He's not perfect, but
Yeah.
it's a different
But he's young and learning. Yeah.
It's a different quality of, okay, not everything he tries works, but it's not like, I don't know what Bellerin is trying to do. Usually he's trying not to make a mistake, but that's not part of a system. You can't beat teams by not making mistakes,
So we'll move into the process, which is our next topic, but like, that's part of this, like this process of maybe it's weeding them out over time, showing, I mean, we're 3 weeks away, less than 3 weeks away from a transfer window, which we need to do some business in 100%. We need a center attacking midfielder bad. Yeah. I mean, Lacazette can play there. I think he played really well the 2 games that they played him. At least they played him there on Sunday against Spurs. I was thankful to see him starting in that position.
Yeah, he started as the lone striker. No one to be able to get the ball to him, and then Aubameyang out on the left, which we already know does not work.
Yeah, why don't we start them how we do in the Europa League?
Why can't they both be in the middle? Like, what we really want is, like, why can't they both play in the middle? And the reason is, with a 4-3-3, it's tough, but if you have him as the 10 and Aubameyang as the 9, then you can do that. And I see that as working. Like, why does that seem like that's way too low percentage or high risk that Arteta's like, oh, no, never in the Premier League. I would never do that in the Premier. Why not?
Yeah, I don't understand. I hope that we see some different things on Sunday. I mean, there's got to be a change of personnel on some degree.
Because like the process, and we were talking about it at the beginning of the season, we trusted it. We trusted in it. We thought that Arteta was bringing in a style. He had a plan. But honestly, when I saw the 3-4-3 against Liverpool in the Community Shield, I figured this was something that he was doing to beat Liverpool, because we're obviously not as good as them, so we need to play defensive to win this one game. I didn't think that was going to be the actual style that we played in, because when you looked at that, you're like, we're basically playing with 4 defenders who aren't defenders in the midfield.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's just not? I mean, I think Arteta is the right man for the job right now. I don't know that we get anybody better on the current wage that he's on, the current vision. I think he's one for, steadying the ship and eventually getting us to, I think he's going to be a great manager. When you have other great managers talking about him, saying that he's going to be a great manager, even on Sunday after the game, Mourinho was like, he played well, all credit to Arteta. He tactically set it up really well, just got beat. But I think that they actually mean this about him. I think he's there. I think there's a lot of people on the fringe that they need out of the club. Bellerin, Xhaka. I mean, he's an intelligent person. You know that he sees it.
So then the real question is, and for all the people who want him sacked, all the people that are going
with Allegri in mind, you think Max Allegri is going to come in and change things?
I mean, the only thing that any new coach could do, no matter who we got, even if we got Luis Enrique or Thomas Tuchel or anyone, name anyone your dream manager came and coached Arsenal, what you would expect for him to do first and foremost was literally not play Xhaka and Bellerin.
Yeah.
And I don't understand it, because It's not like Arteta is doing it and no one else did. You know, like Emery did the same thing. I remember seeing it when Emery last season, when the season started, we were in the same place, exact same place last year.
Yep.
Emery was sacked by now, but before that, I remember looking and be like, why is he playing Xhaka? You
Yeah,
know,
maybe
like
it's that thing.
still get
Maybe
on
it's
the field, and it's like, what? Why can we see it, and why does it seem like literally? It's gotten to the point where it's just a cliche. You know,
yeah, it's
every
like
single
they
fan,
do it to spite us almost.
yeah, like people want Bellerin's head, and I almost feel bad for him because I'm like, man, I don't want to like shit on him as a human being, but like, and then he comes out and talks and says like, oh, that's so misguided, and we just, what are you like? Why are you speaking up, dude? You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
been years and he hasn't done anything, but still, it's like I just don't get it why we have to play this
Do you think
team.
it's part of that thing that we've heard and circulated multiple times about in their contracts, certain Arsenal players always have like playing time and stuff. Like, do you think that they have stuff like that? Because I know that Mesut Ozil had that. Like, he had to start a certain amount of games. The only portion of that clause was that like he had to get like left out of the team like he is right now. Like, to where he doesn't fit into the system, because when he was like playing all the time, Ozil, it was reported many times that he like has this thing that he like has to start. And like what how is that possible? And how many players do we still have on contracts like that we're just trying to find alternative solutions? Because
Who would ever
Bellerin and
break
Xhaka have both been linked with moves out. Like, I mean, for a number of years now as well. Like, Bellerin's have been linked with Inter Milan for 2 years now. I mean,
Yeah.
Juve wanted him. Like, Barcelona's talked about him. Xhaka's been linked with every club in Europe that's not good. And, you know,
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm sitting here thinking like if we had PSG offering 30 to 35 million for Bellerin and we didn't sell him,
yeah.
and we could have used that proceeds and for 20 more million gotten Awar and Partey. Or even you look at, and going down this rabbit hole will just make my heart hurt, but like just even look at this. Like imagine we sold Torreira to Atletico Madrid where he's playing right now for free
Yeah.
for 35. And then we triggered the release clause, take party for 45. That's only 10 million spent. We sell Bellerin for 35 to PSG, buy Awar for 55. That's 20 million. So a net 30 plus 30 for, or 27 for Gabriel. That's 57. That's about what we spent. But but instead we get rid of Bellerin
Yeah.
and get Awar. That's the
Yeah.
difference. We spend the
What?
same amount,
Yeah.
get rid of Bellerin and have Awar, which is we desperately need an attacking midfielder, and we desperately need a player on the pitch who's ruining our games to stop.
Well,
Just
and that would have been the smart thing to do in general in the summer, because now we're going into the January window in 15th place, not having won 4 games. You're going to try to convince Awar to move to Arsenal now?
and also it's not fair to him either because
Yeah.
if we do get him, say we pull off a major coup and get him, he's coming here and we're expecting him to take us from 15th to 4th by himself.
Yeah, and that's not
And he's
realistic at
not, let's
all.
get real.
He's never played the Premier League. He's
I
still
know.
really young.
22.
Yeah.
He had a good season in France in the
Yeah.
Champions League last season, but let's get real. He is not that player who can do that single-handedly. He's just
It
not.
takes yeah, look at Jack Grealish right now is having an incredible season at Aston Villa. I mean, probably the player of the season so far in the league. Like, that dude's so good. And he's been there for a while. He's played in the Premier League for a while. It's only now that he's like started to figure out his rhythm. And not everybody dives right into it, and we can't expect like a miracle solution. We should have done this business early in the summer when we knew that we already were in this position.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Well, we could have done it on August 1st. We could have given Atletico Torreira, triggered the release clause, which we ended up doing anyway.
Yeah.
But we did it the very last day when the season had already started. So Party could have been training and playing with us from day one.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't do that. It's because we're cheap and we always want to try to get the deal. And it's like, it's not planned out as much as it should be. I mean, even when I was listening to Banger's book recently, he was talking about the Luis Suarez transfer, and there was some misguided information from the Liverpool agent that he had a release clause that didn't exist, and it was that if you bid anything over the 40 million pounds, including £1 over what we did, 40 million and £1 should have triggered the release clause. But it wasn't real. It wasn't even the right information. So like they go into these things not prepared all the time. So like that's just, I don't understand why we're not doing business like Chelsea or Man City. And granted, you can be, or Wolves, you can be feeble-minded and conservative on how you spend, but that means that you should do the legwork really early and get it done so that you have the best chance to get the deal out of it.
I mean, because we end up spending money. We spent 72 million on Pepe.
Yeah.
And now we won't buy a WAR for 55, even though we can literally, I mean, the self-sustaining model, blah, blah, blah. Like we have the players, we have the opportunity to self-sustain. Fucking Ainsley Maitland-Niles. The dude is playing for England national team. Can't put a fucking look in to save his life in the Premier League.
Which I don't understand.
Europa League sometimes, blah, blah, blah. But they act like there's just no possible way are you going to play in the Premier League. Wolves wanted to buy him for 30.
Yeah.
We could have been a net positive gain of 20 million pounds or something and have a WAR. Or we could have gone in for someone like, I mean, Ashraf Hakimi, Inter Milan bought him for 40. He's a right back. He's an amazing right back. We could have sold Bellerin and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Ainsley Maitland-Niles does not play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Bellerin should not play in the Premier League. And we could have funded
for anybody.
No, and we could have funded.
It's not good enough. He's just not good.
And Partey and someone like Hakimi on the right who would drastically come in and just change the game.
Do you think that this is all kind of one topic, the process and Arteta speculation. It's kind of like one bulk, but with all of that, like, I don't know that he has as much say as we probably think, just as like the people in charge at Arsenal are doing a lot more not to help the club sometimes than helping the club move in a football direction. Like profits, there was a report yesterday, Van Persie was talking about the club president at one point showing him the numbers and being like, but look how much money we're doing, look how well we're doing as a club. And Van Persie was like, I don't give a shit about those numbers. He was like, I want to lift the Premier League trophy. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And it's like, dude, that's the problem, is like, you guys are concerned about profits, but we need to be concerned about winning, and winning brings more profit. Like,
yeah, I mean, that they took for granted that we'd be in the Champions League. Now it's 1000%. It's looking further and further away that we'll even get there. We have to win. We have to win the Europa League. That's we have a long way to go to win the Europa League. We can do it, sure.
We're in a similar position that Man United find themselves in. We talked to Art a few weeks ago, but we're in a similar trajectory of club. Both bought on weird models. Theirs is spend and don't and just be the biggest club in the world. Ours is more self-sustaining. But after the managers, after Sir Alex Ferguson left the club in bad shape, Wenger left us, and equally on terrible paths after. Both clubs were in Champions League easily. Man United got dumped out of Champions League the other day, not even put up a performance in the group. So like, we're just similar things happen after those long tenureships, and finding a new culture at the club probably takes time. But, I think Arteta is the person to do it. I think they just need to give him more resources. I don't think, they didn't help him get the players in the summer that he needed. They needed a war. You're right. We needed that player. We needed to get rid of Xhaka. We need to get rid of Bellerin. Like, there's a lot of fringe players we could have cut. Like, why is Socrates still at the club?
Yeah.
Why is Mustafi there? Kolasinac?
Yeah. Or you have players. The worst is players who had
Ozil?
who had bids on them
And didn't go. Kolasinac was like 10 million.
And they're not playing.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
Kolasinac,
not
10 million. Why didn't you?
Is he starting every game?
He doesn't play. He doesn't even make the team.
Not even Europa League sometimes.
Most of the time.
He didn't play Europa League yesterday, I don't think.
No.
So you passed up on money, and then you're not going to play him?
Yeah. What
in the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. It really makes no sense business-wise sometimes, like what they're doing. Like, no. I get the self-sustaining model, all for that. I like some of that stuff. I think that that's a responsible way to run this in general. I like that they're the first club to be energy efficient in Europe or in the world. They're doing some cool things, but like, dude, if you're going to run the club as a business and go off of it, then cut the dead weight. It's a business. It's not.
We located 180 million pounds of players that we could sell. And that includes selling Bellerin, Xhaka, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, even people like Reece Nelson, players that you still want to see do well. And the thing is, we could have, and that was just at their market rate. Like Reece was his market rate was 15 million. So it's not like that's a lot of money, but at the same time, it's like, what's better, 15 million pounds or that we could use toward some other player, or having a player who has contributed as much as Reece Nelson has? He's barely played in the Premier League. Or 30 million pounds to spend toward other players, or Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who doesn't even get subbed in. Xhaka will get subbed out and he doesn't go in.
Well, now there's like, I saw like something yesterday about like Willian leaving in January and like already off because he just hasn't done anything. And
I mean,
I don't.
Willian,
it's just like,
I mean, you think Willian has been a disaster, if you ask me, because
he's been horrible. That's a terrible
100,000 pounds.
A week. Yeah, he's like the third highest paid player at Arsenal. He makes more money than Lacazette. And that's bonkers. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, if Lacazette left Arsenal and said "fuck you guys" and went to a different team and started balling, you would have to clap him off. He'd be another player just like Alexis Sanchez, where you're like,
yep.
I don't blame you, and I hope you do well because you tried everything, and we consistently kicked you in the nuts.
Yeah, he is. I don't understand the Lacazette conundrum because he is solid. He's like a really talented footballer, like dribbling, shooting. I mean, he has it all. I don't understand.
Hold up play, passing.
Yeah.
And
it's completely underrated. Similar to Giroud. Like, we let Giroud go. And in the January window, he's Chelsea's best forward. He won the World Cup after he left.
It's
like, what?
It makes you look at players and be like, it's not that players are bad. It's that players go to Arsenal and don't play well.
Yeah. It's like, or we have these players and we don't use them in the right way and we let them go. And it's just been this like calamitous 10 years. I think the 2010 era to 2020 for Arsenal should just be a forgotten bygone era because it's garbage. They've done business terribly. They've lost a lot of games. We've been beaten badly a number of times. And like, for what? Like, it's a lie. Like,
players for free. Like, how did we trade Alexis Sanchez, who, by the way, if we had Alexis Sanchez right now,
Oh my God.
He might be top of the league.
And he played the best at Arsenal that he's ever played in his career.
Could you imagine Alexis
Like
Sanchez as the number 10 with Alba,
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang, Laka, and Pepe?
Oh my God. I
Like,
mean,
it makes my heart hurt
yeah,
because
because he had it all.
Like people would be terrified, and we could play a 4-3-3 and have the other two outside midfielders be more defensive,
And yeah,
and have like four in the back. We could be a strong defensive unit and still have Alexis Sanchez serving and scoring goals to Laka, Pepe, and Aubameyang. That could have been. That should have
yeah,
been.
that should have been. Yeah.
Everyone
And
wanted that to be.
dude, and they let him go to United in return for Mkhitaryan.
In return for Mkhitaryan, who we didn't sell to Roma, by the way. We didn't sell him. We
released him. We released him. Yeah.
He went there. He's scoring fucking hat tricks for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
He couldn't cross the road for us.
Yeah.
He looked like he couldn't run with the ball without tripping over and falling on his face. And now all of a sudden he's scoring fucking hat tricks for Roma, and we let him go for free? What?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And you got like Alexis Sanchez went to United, did not play well there, did not have a good time, wanted to leave on day one. Now he's at Inter Milan, hates it there. Like what? I mean, there's got to be something
That's a lose
like
for everybody.
It is.
Him and Aubameyang would have been terrifying, dude. Teams would have been him, Aubameyang, and Pepe.
Oh my God,
and,
yeah.
And Lacazette. Teams would see that and be like, "Fuck," you know what I mean?
Yes.
And imagine we get like two kind of N'Golo Kante-esque players to play in the midfield with our outside defenders, running overlaps and whipping in crosses. And teams do not want to fuck with that.
I mean, we got Partey, which is great, but now he's injured.
Yeah, and what was the shit with
he
coming off the field and then Arteta pushing him back and like?
I mean, I get both sides of that. Like he's actually injured and trying to come off, not to cause more injury to the area. Like sounds like something is in his thigh, and it's not the same spot now. The second part of it, it's near the spot. So he obviously pulled something, and Arteta's like, "Get back! We're gonna get scored on. We get scored on." It's just like, dude, go down if you're gonna do it. It's just.
I mean, dude, it's his first game back. He's played how many minutes total? He
Yeah,
could have started his first game of the season with a couple weeks of training beforehand, but no, we bring him in game 4, plays one game and gets injured. You know what I mean?
This was always gonna be one of the toughest seasons. There was no break. There was a weird window. The games now are still behind. We're December 11th. They've only played 11 games in the league. So we should be closer to 19 at this point. We're about 5 games behind, like where it needs to be. So the fixtures have been close. So everybody's going to have a tougher time doing well. But other teams aren't complaining about it. Other teams are just making it happen. You got to go about your business. Like you got to figure out how to recover.
Liverpool literally has their entire team injured at one point.
And they're in second. They're like at the top of the table still.
Yeah. Where are they in their second place on equal points
with Tottenham?
With Tottenham, which I don't even know how they're not first because their goal differential is 5 goals less than Tottenham. But they're tied for first fucking place. And they've had
Van Dijk is out. The best defender in the world is out.
They had all their defenders injured at one point. They had Salah out for like multiple weeks with COVID.
Yeah.
Firmino, I don't know if he's been playing or what, but like they've had a shit ton of problems, way more than us. They're first in the league and they're through their group in Champions League.
Yep. And probably going to continue on that run and finish easily in the top 4. If not, challenge for the title again. They could win the title again.
I hope they do.
I hope they do too, because they're a solid team. And I just would hate Spurs to win it.
I don't think they will.
Nah. I mean, Mourinho does have this streak of winning the league on his second season in the club. He gets appointed mid-season a lot, and on his second season, like the full season, his record of winning the league is like he's done it at every club he's been at.
Yeah, but you know what?
Except for United, he didn't win the league at United.
You know what the North London Derby told me? The main thing I got away from that was Tottenham is not that good.
They're not. No, they're not that good. They held on
against them.
Yeah.
The fact that they only beat us 2-0 and the fact that we had like almost all possession in the second half.
It was like 80% possession almost at one point in the game.
Yeah. If they were a better team, if we would have put that team out against Bayern Munich right now, we would have lost 8-2 in one game, not two. It would have been 10-2, 8-2. We would have been absolutely annihilated by a really solidly good team. So they're a one-trick pony, and I don't think that it'll be enough.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they're a ways away, and when it gets to, they're not going to be there. But God, we should have gotten more from that game. We needed to get something from that game. Like it's, and now we, I mean, with Arteta, like before we wrap up and go into Burnley, you think we stick with them? How long? You give them the whole year still?
I mean, I will say I've listened to a couple people say Arteta out and stuff, and I was really, really opposed to it. But they kind of like opened my eyes a little bit. Like I think we're giving him. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if we're giving him too much credit. Maybe the things that we thought he could do, he can't. You start to have doubts when you keep doing the same thing over and over. That's wrong. The main thing is, even with our terrible business, terrible transfer policy,
he's got to change something.
It doesn't excuse why the fact he's playing these people week in, week out. If you have players that are only meant to be for the League Cup and for Europa League, they don't belong on a team. First, Arsenal is first and foremost an English Premiership club.
Yes.
You don't describe them as a Carabao Cup team or a Europa League team. They are an English Premier League team. So if you have players on there who you do not want to play, who no matter what they do in another competition, don't get a look in to the main team in the league, why are they at the club? Or why is there a system where there's two flat out different teams playing?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't have.
Why is the manager doing this?
Yeah. And that's, I think, where it comes down to, like, I agree with those points. Like, I've thought about that. Like, are we giving him too much credit? Like, are we, I think that he is the guy, though. I think he's like, I think down the road, if you look like 10, 15 years down the road, Arteta is going to be a top manager. Like he's going to be in the likes of other great managers, whether that's with us or whether that's with someone else. Like, either way, I think he's very good at his job. I think he takes it very seriously. Whether or not he can get the players to buy into that system and play, I do think he needs to start making changes with Bellerin and Xhaka. I don't give a shit if their contract says that they need to play. Like, they're damaging the system.
Who would give Bellerin and Xhaka a contract like that anyway? I mean, that is absolutely absurd. And looking back at Ozil, it makes it seem like the reason why he only played because he knew he had to play in his contract, and he played like that. He played like, I'm going to start no matter what because I'm contractually bound. But I honestly don't want.
And his nonsense lately, I mean, he's got to go. Like, he's just stirring the pot on social, like, every day now. Like, I feel like we're watching Donald Trump at Arsenal just drag the ship down a little bit. Like leave the club, man. Like, go. No, but you're not even in the team sheet.
Yeah. Like,
stop talking.
You're the one, we're trying to get rid of you, and you're the one who keeps saying, "Oh, I won't leave. No, I'll never leave. I'll never leave."
I mean, unparalleled with Donald Trump, actually, if you look at the two of them.
It's that kind of situation where you're like, the problem is so obvious, and yet people are just like, I'm going to pretend that there is no problem. Actually, I'm doing a great job. You're not doing any job.
It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah, Ozil's been a humongous
Plague.
dream. And just the fact that Arteta, a lot of the Arteta out thing is like, oh, look what you did. You got rid of Ozil, and now look at this. It's like, first of all, it wasn't entirely in his hands, but also I think, and I wish he would have said this, like Pep Guardiola, when Yaya Toure's agent, I think it's Mino Raiola,
Yeah,
was
he bought the
talking
birthday
shit.
cake and all that stuff.
Yeah, he was talking shit and trying to play
Yeah.
that game. And Pep Guardiola told in a news conference, he was like, "I'm old school. You have a player that does like that, you don't play for me. That's just how it is." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if Arteta would have come out and said that, like, look, he crossed the line. He's speaking out of turn. The way I came from, my background is you don't do that. I'm the manager. I can't play him under these circumstances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Well,
then I
that's
think
yeah, that's a
but
whole other thing. And yeah,
yeah,
Wenger talked about that in the book about like the agents having too much power now, and the agents are like with the players all the time and can easily like make the system fall apart because they're like they want someone out, they want to make money from it.
you see it with Pogba at United.
Oh yeah,
And
he's same thing.
all it's done is Pogba's had 5 or 6 terrible years of doing nothing, but Mino Raiola got 10% of that $89 million contract, and then he wants to sell him again. He's going to make another $8-9 million.
Yeah,
So it's been great for him. It's been terrible for Pogba, and it's been a nightmare for United. And that's exactly
it's
the way it is with Ozil.
and Wenger actually sounds like Wenger at FIFA now. He's working at FIFA. They're trying to crack down on the agent stuff and trying to regulate it a little bit because it's a problem in the game. And we're seeing it like the Pogba situation. It's unfortunate because that's a good soccer player and needs to be managed in the right way. Needs to feel loved wherever he is. And his time at United has been tumultuous both times.
Yeah, and he was an exciting player.
Yeah, well, he's a World Cup winner. He's a World Cup winner.
Yeah, when he played for Juventus, dude.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. And he was good for France. He helped them win the World Cup. Him and Griezmann in that World Cup were like incredible. And Mbappe, I mean, that system of 3 players was just beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, Conte in the middle. I mean, France in general is they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long time. But yeah, we got to, I don't know. I mean, Arteta, I hope that we give him a little bit more time and that they can turn it around. I don't want to see our club keep firing managers and rebuilding. You know, he's got to switch some things. But I mean, yeah,
Well, the thing for me is I'm not Arteta out because bringing in anyone else won't change anything.
Nope.
Not with
these players.
Not that we could even get anyone that we would really want.
Yeah. Who are they going to get? I saw Allegri was circled, but like, I don't think Allegri is the solution.
I mean, they've been saying that forever. He's been up.
Yeah.
And that's, if he didn't go when if they didn't get him instead of Emery, why would they get him now? You know what I mean?
And then I heard Sarri was put in there and like, dude, I don't want Sarri at the club. He did terrible at Chelsea.
God, man. No.
That's like all bad options.
Yeah, if we get on this carousel of shitty coaches who stay here for a couple seasons and leave, that's when that's when trouble is here.
That's when we actually might get relegated. I mean, realistically, I don't think that we're in a relegation fight. We are 15th right now. It's after 11 games. The board's still pretty close. I think it's a 9-point difference from where we're at to first. So right now, it's not super danger zone, but it is sort the fucking field out and score some goals and win some games. Because
it's like
another couple losses, we're in trouble.
Yeah, let's see. It's 9 points away from first.
Yep.
But 7 points away from relegation.
Yeah. I mean, either way, we're in a weird spot and they need to start getting some results. We got Burnley on Sunday.
Burnley's an 8 in a row and you don't make any changes. And there's things that I mean, a 2-year-old goes out there and can say where the problem is at. That's where I question Arteta, and I don't get it. Why do
Yeah.
we play this team like we feel like we have to play them, you
I
know?
hope that they switch it up on Sunday because Burnley is a must-win game. It's a must-win. I think we should win. They're an 18th. We're close to them in the table, but we're class. Burnley and Fulham have looked out of sorts in the league this season. They've been the two teams that have been really struggling.
Yeah.
And Southampton as well. And so, I mean,
Southampton's good.
Southampton is good. Who's the other one in the bottom? There's someone else down there that's
West Brom is struggling.
West Brom. And we play them soon too.
Yeah.
We play them the day after New Year's.
Yeah.
And we got Southampton next week. We have Burnley, Southampton, City, Chelsea, West Brom.
And I swear, if Walcott scores a goal against us, I'm gonna fucking flip out.
Yeah.
And if we play Chelsea and Giroud gets fucking a hat trick against us, I'm gonna flip out because why does it happen? It happens too much. Why do we get these players and they suck and then they go play for other teams and they're doing awesome? Why can't we get that kind of results?
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think for Sunday?
It's the same boat, man. And I feel that if I look at the team sheet and I see this 3-4-3 with Mustafi and Xhaka and Bellerin, I don't think I could stomach to watch the game. I really don't, because literally the past 2 games at Wolves and Tottenham, seeing that team sheet, I just knew in my soul we were going to lose.
Yeah.
And you're watching that team play and you're like, where's it going to come from? Who do I hope changes the game? We hope Aubameyang will get it and beat 5 people and rip it up or 90. You can't, he's not going to do, he's gotten to the point where his form is evaporated completely. So that's what we did. We took Aubameyang and he's never been this way in his entire career. He hasn't gone on a gold drought in his entire career like this. At Dortmund, he scored all the fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he hasn't scored in
he won the fucking golden boot, dude.
Yeah. He's been close the last couple. He won it 2 years ago and was 1 goal away last season.
Yeah. So we have a way of taking players that are great and just sucking them dry. And it's really, really fucking frustrating, dude. So I don't know yes, we can beat them. We can beat Tottenham. We can beat any team, I think.
Yeah. I think we can beat teams. We've been struggling just to score goals.
And it depends on what team we're going to play. If we keep playing our worst team, then I don't think we can beat Burnley. And we're going to play Everton and we could lose. We're going to play Brighton and we could lose.
Yep, and throw in Man City and Chelsea into that mix because we got them in there too. Those are going to be hard, of course.
Yeah. And one thing I was thinking about too when it comes to Arteta and the process and everything, I have to imagine, because he's compared to Klopp all the time, oh, well, Klopp, it took him a long time to do things and stuff. And I just wonder what Klopp would have done if he would have gone to Arsenal instead of Liverpool. You look at the player, even if Klopp is coaching the team that we have right now, when you think about it, there's players, our front 3 are very comparable to their front 3. The only difference is consistent results. But, Aubameyang was tied for Mane and Salah that year. They won the Golden Boot, and they were the best strikers in the world. And so is he. Lacazette is every bit as good as Firmino. I don't care what people say. Firmino is not in a different class than Lacazette.
They just use him. They just use him differently.
Yeah, they use him right. Could Klopp get better out of us? And is it a problem of we're not getting the worth out of these players? And I think you have to look at it because
Well,
You
and
know,
Klopp was already a proven manager when he went to Liverpool. Like he'd won at Dortmund. He
true,
trial and errored it before. We're expecting Arteta to blossom into
true,
Klopp's been managing a long time and
true.
try. Yeah, and it's. I agree. I think he has some time to go, and maybe he's going to have to remove his own ego sometimes and figure out that like he's got to switch things around. And as a coach, like your job is to hope that the team plays the way you want and that you're getting the best out of the players. And right now, we know Aubameyang's not getting the best out of him.
Lacazette's not getting the best out of him. Pepe is
Yeah,
not getting the best.
Pepe. Yeah,
Partey
yeah,
is not getting the best out of him.
yeah. And hopefully they can start to turn it around. I think that the players want Arteta there.
Yeah,
I think, and that's something that we need to consider.
for sure.
They believe in him. They want him there. They like him. I think that they're having more fun than they've been having in a long time, even with the losses. I see a lot of positivity moving forward. I just think that they need to start getting some results.
Definitely.
They need to win one game at a time, and hopefully it starts at Burnley on Sunday.
Agreed. Agreed. You know, it's an unsettling pattern that we have, and Arteta kind of fits into that, where we're taking these people, Saka, Nketiah, Willock, Reece Nelson, and you can throw Arteta into that group because he's as young as a manager as they are as players.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're saying now it's all on your shoulders. That's not how you lift up a team. You have people that are already performing, and then you say, come and raise your level to this. You don't say,
Yeah.
hey, Nketiah, Reece, Willock, you got to come in and save our season for us. It's like they're like,
Yeah.
we came from the academy and we don't have any examples right now,
Yeah, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, and Arteta, we forget, like, this is his first full season as a manager in his life.
Yeah.
As a head manager. That's asking a lot for him to come in and just, win the league or not get us relegated.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is when all these reports are saying Arteta out and Talk Sports writing an article saying like, is it time for him to get sacked? I mean, at the board at Arsenal how crazy they are about stuff. Like I don't think he's even close to getting sacked right now because like they're thinking like money wise that's an expensive endeavor. They have to pay him out of his contract, which is like $6 million right now. He's on like a decent wage, and so they're not going to do that. And I think that we just need to figure the system out. I think they need to get rid of the fringe players, like we've been saying every week, and start getting some players that are going to work into the process and build the team in a better way. I think if we could start our strongest team right now, like our absolute strongest team, and you were to throw in a War in there,
exciting.
It's a good team. It's a good team.
Totally exciting. And we've been excited. We're excited week in and week out. But now I need proof that it's not going to be another disappointment. But it sucks to wake up in the morning, be excited for the game,
and then
look at the format, and then have to sit there and watch for an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, I was in a bad mood all day on Sunday.
No, it's like where I want to feel like I'm not going to do it if it makes me feel bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is for
I know.
We love the team. Yeah. We're passionate about it, but like I'm not trying to legitimately be in a bad mood around my wife and daughter.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
the fucking Xhaka and Bellerin, they're not worth it.
Yeah, like because for us, it's 8 a.m. on Sunday when we get up and ready to watch, and game's over at 10, and we're like, all right, well now this day is. I don't even want to do anything now.
I know. You don't feel motivated to do anything, or if it's a great game, you're like, okay, now I'm going to go and be productive all day.
These people are supposed to inspire other people to greatness because they're showing their class on the field. They need to start producing just as a team. They like a lot of them should just be embarrassed about how they're even performing. So,
yeah. But the system really does look at it like, yeah, Aubameyang is not performing, but
Yeah.
I don't see what he should be doing. All I could say that what he could do to change and to be better is to somehow run wherever the ball is, get the ball,
Yeah. And
beat
force a
people,
mistake or
and
something. Yeah.
score.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for Aubameyang, it must be frustrating because he's all alone a lot of the time. You're dependent as a forward on other people getting the ball up the field and putting you in the position to score. I mean, he's not going to be able to do it on his own. And
He's never really been that kind of player. He's not a messy player to get it deep, dribble
yeah,
5 people, and then score. He's really, really world class at getting into the right places for the right pass.
yeah.
And
And if he's
that
around
pass,
the box, he's dangerous.
yeah, and that
He's
pass
just,
he's been getting some crosses that you could be like, oh, he should have done better, blah, blah, blah. But there's no clear cut. And
but
even if he gets one clear cut chance, there's a chance he misses it.
I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but it was when Aubameyang and Lacazette were kind of in the roles that we wanted him to be, where Lacazette was a little bit deeper in the middle as the attacking midfielder, and he did play that ball through to Aubameyang a couple times, and people were like, even the commentator was like, "That is what these two should be doing." He was like, "Obviously,
Yeah,
they're friends. They want to play on the field together." Like
I know.
our best team, that I think one of the best teams I've ever played on, was when you and I were like around 23 and we all went out together on the weekends and then played Sunday night together. That team was incredible because we were friends off the field and on the field. Everybody worked in the system really well. It's it
We knew how you wanted to receive the ball, like what positions you're comfortable in. Like I'm not
Yep.
going to kick a ball at your chest with a guy on you and expect you to trap it, turn. Like, what if
and
I
rip 90
a little bit in front of you? You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you learn those things. Yeah,
So that's already happening in the team. So like, let those two people play together. Like, they want to play together.
yeah, yeah. It's frustrating because I know, looking at it from our point of view, it's easy to complain. It's easy to say, oh, I would have done this, I would have done this, I would have done this. But like, some of it just seems so obvious, like,
Oh yeah.
and you look at other teams and the way they play, like any amateur football watcher could say, oh, what I would do with Tottenham's team is park the bus and then play it to Son and Kane.
Yeah.
That's obvious.
It seems.
They do it, but they do
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
obvious because
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like, it doesn't have to be some crazy system.
Yeah.
It's just
I
like,
know. It's weird. It's weird that it's like that we can point it out and notice it, but they don't like
yeah,
do it. So I'm gonna say we're gonna get a result on Sunday. I I think we need it. I think that they're gonna do it because I know that we say that we predict them winning a lot. I will probably not predict that in the coming weeks when we go to play Man City. But I think we're gonna win like 3-0 or 3-1 on Sunday.
yeah. I'll say 2.
I think we were going to find some form because I know that they had some talks this last week. Like, we thought that they would, as a team. There was like reports of like Arteta having like talks with the team, and then they had their own little meeting. So they want to perform, and they just need to sort it out. So hopefully we start to look on the up and up. Otherwise, this is going to get dismal.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even doubt Xhaka and Bellerin's attitude. Like, I believe that they truly in their hearts are trying hard, want to win. They
They're
want
just not good enough.
to like them. Yeah, but they're on the pitch, their football IQ and their confidence in terms of what they can really do, I think, is broken,
Yeah.
But I don't think they're terrible
It's not there.
beings, or they're like Ozil. I will fault him. And I will say that whatever his brilliance on the field is not worth it, because I know his attitude is shit. And I don't trust him at all for his attitude. For Bellerin and Xhaka, I think, and Mustafi, I think they go out there and they're desperate to do something to get people to like them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. They're just not good enough.
Hard. They just can't, and they're not.
Yeah. They're not capable.
Yeah.
there's a level, and I think for certain people that you just can't get past that level.
Yeah, and this is not recreation, you know.
Yeah,
When you play professional sports, you know that it comes with the territory that you will be brutally critiqued. That's the
totally.
nature of the game. It's the results
Yeah,
business. If you don't win, you're gonna get hammered. And that's just how it is. It's rough, it's
yeah,
mean, it's not always friendly at all. They ask a lot and sometimes they ask too much. But I'm sorry, that's how it's always been, you know.
yeah.
We don't need to
So
put an arm around people when week in, week out. They're failing to do their jobs.
yeah. Well, we'll have 2 games to recap next week. You know, we got Burnley and Southampton. Southampton's going to be a tough game.
There's 6 points. We need 6 points.
We need them. We need them. So I hope to recap something happy next week.
Definitely. Well,
But
once again, we're on the precipice. It could go either way. So
yep. Nice chatting this week. And
yeah,
join us next week and we'll be back.
alrighty.
All right. Cheers.
Peace.